Washington, D.C., our beautiful capital on the Potomac River, is a sight to see. Washington, D.C. is absolutely breathtaking during cherry blossom time, and the gorgeous blossoms line the tidal basin. This motorcoach tour is one of our most popular trips, and after a 2-year hiatus, we can't wait to share the nation's capital in all its glory. This classic itinerary features city tours with local guides featuring the most famous memorials. The brand new Eisenhower Memorial, Vietnam and Korean War Memorials, FDR World War I Memorial, World War II Memorial, and Martin Luther King Jr. Memorials, and even a few surprises. When the famous indicator tree blooms, the rest of the blossoms are not far behind. Cherry blossom time in Washington, D.C. brings an energy of renewal. The pink hue emerges around the tidal basin and all around the city. The last 2 years, the festival was all but canceled for visitors. For thousands, the only way to experience the festival was virtually. Thankfully, this year we can once again see the sights, including the 307-year-old Japanese lantern given to us in friendship by the Japanese government in 1954.
The cherry trees were a gift of friendship from the people of Tokyo to the people of the United States. The first gift was planted in 1912, more than 3,000 trees, and today more than 3,700 stand on the grounds of the Washington Monument and extend down East Potomac Park to Haines Point. There are more than a dozen species and a total of more than 3,700 cherry trees on the tidal basin. Let's go check some of them out. There are scores of different species of cherry trees, a dozen of which are on display around the National Mall. The most abundant species here are the Yoshino trees, which make up 70% of the more than 3,700 trees that the National Park Service takes care of.
Day one, we travel to Washington, D.C. and check into our hotel in the Courtyard, Alexandria, Pentagon South. This will be our home base as we explore the memorials and the many sights. Day two starts with our professional city guide leading us around the nation's capital. Washington, D.C. was designed by our founding fathers. The Capitol Building, White House, Supreme Court, and many green spaces and temple-like memorials are inspiring. This afternoon, free time at the Smithsonian to visit its many world-famous museums. Dinner is on our own, and new to our itinerary is the National Harbor. Set directly on the Potomac River and waterfront district, it has a variety of restaurants and shops for you to explore. Also added to this year's trip is the recently opened National Museum of the United States Army. This museum celebrates over 245 years of Army history and honors our nation's soldiers, past, present, and future. Mount Vernon this afternoon to see the ingenuity and splendor of President Washington's beautiful estate. The Orientation Center with over 25 galleries reveals more insight of our nation's first president. After a farewell dinner, no trip to Washington, D.C. would be complete without a Washington by Night tour. Day 4, Arlington National Cemetery, America's largest national burial ground. Board the cemetery's tour mobile to see the grounds, with stops at the grave of JFK, his brother, Robert and Ted, and the tomb of the unknown soldier. On our way home, we'll stop in Baltimore with time to explore the Inner Harbor, with all its great shops and restaurants. Washington, D.C. at cherry blossom time, a unique experience to discover our nation's capital. Our Friendship Tours escorts have years of experience sharing these special places, which is why past travelers have said quotes like, I have seen Washington before, but never have we experienced it quite like this. An experience my wife and I will always treasure. And, wow, we experienced Washington, D.C. like never before. If you have a chance to go, go.